reporters like you just to see what would happen.
The exchange came during the bill signing ceremony for additional coronavirus relief. More money will soon be on the way to small businesses, hospitals, and coronavirus testing. Small Business Committee Chairman Senator Marco Rubio tweeted the Paycheck Protection Program should reopen Monday morning with not just the additional $310 billion from this bill, but with money returned by some big publicly traded companies who took loans in round one. Several Senate Democrats are calling on the Small Business Administration's Inspector General to investigate reports that some major lenders prioritized larger customers for the loans. As lawmakers now look toward another stimulus bill, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said it must include funding for state and local governments.
There will be a bill, and it will be expensive, and we look forward to doing it as soon as possible.
But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said this week states should consider filing for bankruptcy rather than adding to the federal deficit. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
Back here at home, only 2 new cases of coronavirus were reported in Montana today. The new cases in Yellowstone and Wheatland counties. The total is now 444 in Montana. The state has seen 14 deaths, 325 people have recovered, and there are 12 active hospitalizations. Well, Governor Steve Bullock says as Montana moves into the first phase of his reopening plan, people and businesses will still have to take responsibility to help slow the spread of COVID-19. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian reports on what he said ahead of this weekend's loosening of some statewide restrictions.
Governor Steve Bullock says Montana's early actions to flatten the curve of coronavirus cases have now brought the state to a point where they can begin to relax some of the restrictions. But before the start of Phase 1 reopening this weekend, Bullock said people will still need to take actions to maintain that progress.
I'd like to reiterate how important it is that Montanans continue to go to great lengths to protect themselves and one another in these coming weeks.
Bullock said fewer than a dozen new cases have been confirmed in Montana this week. He also introduced Dr. Mark Mentel, president of the Montana Medical Association, who said Montana is not out of the woods, but that a phased reopening was the most realistic way to move forward. Bullock said the steps people take now will determine the success of the reopening plan.
There is no expiration date for this phase. The virus still is in Montana. It will be with us for some time. That means that we may be in Phase 1 also for a long time. And in large part, when we get out of this phase relies on the individual actions and personal responsibility of Montanans.
The start of Phase 1 reopening will come on Sunday, and Bullock says leaders will be closely watching after that to see if the curve remains flat. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
Lewis and Clark County Health says the county will adopt the governor's directive and they will begin lifting restrictions aimed at preventing the spread of COVID-19. And they'll also encourage businesses to develop written plans to make sure they offer a safe environment to customers and employees. Only 16 cases of the virus have been confirmed in the county so far. That's fewer than all but 2 of the state's 7 most populated counties. No cases have been confirmed since April 9th. The health department has the authority to reinstate restrictions if there is a need. Well, about 4 months after the Little Shell Tribe of Montana received federal recognition, tribal leaders are now dealing with the impacts of COVID-19. Chairman Gerald Gray says they now run council meetings on Zoom, and some plans have been delayed because the tribe is federally recognized. They're supposed to receive some funding under the Coronavirus Preparedness and Response Supplemental Appropriations Act. The President signed that act in March. Gray says that they have not yet received any money. He wrote on the tribe's Facebook page yesterday urging members to stay sheltered at home even as the state's restrictions are lifted.
For the Little Shell, we don't have a reservation, so we can't really close anything off right now. And we personally feel that it's too early. We don't have the health care at all or any kind of facilities or funds to assist our members if need be.
Gray said they're currently working towards opening a Little Shell urgent care clinic in Great Falls, and they're looking at funding avenues for the clinic, which he estimates would cost around $1 million. Well, Governor Bullock's stay-at-home order explicitly names outdoor activity as essential as long as proper social distancing guidelines are followed. MTN's Matt Holzaffel spoke with one of Montana's biggest advocates of getting outdoors, to see how things have changed.
Jerry Jennings isn't letting coronavirus stop her from getting outdoors.
Chuck and I are out there either biking or walking almost every day.
But things are a bit different.
Yes, there are a lot of people, but yes, there is plenty of distance between people, or you can make plenty of distance between people.
Jerry explained that getting outside is simply good for both your mental and physical health. She says she's seen signs about social distancing, but probably not enough. Some people are abiding by those guidelines, but not everyone. This has raised questions about whose job it is to enforce those rules in public places, especially outdoors.
I've thought about that when I'm out on the trail. You know, here's an older woman probably going up to some kids and saying, "Kids, get apart, get apart." I have no problem with that. But probably 30 years ago, I would have had a problem with that. I really haven't seen anyone enforcing it. I think it would be a good thing.
Law enforcement officials have been tasked with enforcing social distancing in many parts of the country and the world. That may be easy when it comes to breaking up large groups, but making sure everyone stays at least 6 feet apart poses a bit of a challenge. At least in Montana, it's not hard to find space.
A lot of our life is outdoors, and aren't we lucky to live in a state where the great outdoors is all around us? Do you realize we have 7.5 square miles per person in Montana? So it really shouldn't be too difficult for people to get outside.
In Great Falls, Matt Holzaffel, MTN News.
Well, planners have transformed the 4th annual East Helena Out of the Darkness campus walk into a virtual event. It allows participants to walk remotely on April 25th. They can then share their activities via social media. Doing it this way helps walkers maintain appropriate social distancing while showing their support for the cause of suicide prevention. Organizers also plan to post videos of local nonprofits to form a virtual resource fair that gives easy access to participants. The event and others like it help fund education and support programs. Their goal is to reduce the annual U.S. rate of suicide to 20% by the year 2025.
Especially during this time. You know, it's important that we walk and that we still hold these events, however, in whatever modality we can, to continue our efforts to save lives and to continue to help those who are affected by suicide.
And while the walk is a fundraiser, it is free to participate in the event. Well, despite a few showers here and there, our Storm Tracker weather team has been tracking a nice day overall. Brandon Michaels joins us now. Brandon, it's still pretty nice out there this evening.
Yeah, nice and mild. Most of the showers are gone too. It's not bad, and it's going to be pretty nice through the weekend. Let's take a look outside. We're going to start with Helena because Helena's temperature is very nice for this time of night. They're still at 50 degrees, and they've got that southwest wind. That's helping them out. That's helping keep those temperatures fairly mild into the evening hours. As far as Great Falls, a little bit cooler there. We're looking at 42 degrees with a west wind at 8 miles per hour. In general, though, all of these spots are going to fall off quite a bit through the night tonight because we are going to be seeing, as we'll see on this next graphic here, fairly clear skies. We had that pretty good band of cloud cover pushing through Helena and Great Falls earlier this evening, but that's really starting to kind of weaken on the backside, and clear skies are expected overnight and it's tomorrow morning. As far as rain, really not too much being picked up on the Doppler network right now, and we're not going to see too much rain for actually quite some time. Pretty dry Saturday, Sunday. Through most of next week, really, we're staying dry until we hit Thursday and possibly even Friday as well. But really, our weather's not just looking drier, it's actually looking quite a bit warmer too, and we'll talk about how warm it's going to get later in the show.
All right, thanks, Brandon. Well, hairstylists have made the cuts to be part of the governor's first phase of reopening. Coming up, how your first trip back to the salon might be different.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on Montana's News Leader.
Welcome back. Some big changes are coming as Montana begins to slowly reopen, starting with churches and retail stores. And on Monday, hair salons can reopen for business after having to close their doors 1 month ago.
For our clients to be patient with us because we have so many people to fit in, and we can only work 5 stylists at a time.
Laura George owns the Sugar Hair Salon on Last Chance Gulch in Helena. She says for the last month she's delivered lots of products to her clients, and she's grateful for all of their support through gift certificates and product purchases. But she's anxious to reopen and get back to work. She wants her customers to know things will look a little bit different when they come in.
we will all be wearing masks. And luckily in our salon, our stations are all 6 feet apart. And so that helps a lot that we have so much space in our salon. We will be having clients either wait outside until we're ready, or we have another waiting area in the front. So just definitely having less than 10 people in our space at a time.
And Laura suggests that clients wear masks during their appointments. She added they will not be allowing extra friends or family into the salon. Only those with an appointment will be allowed inside. She says they've already been sanitizing everything in the salon and will continue to sanitize throughout each day. And if you'd like to book an appointment for Sugar, you can head to our website for more information. Red Ants Pants in White Sulphur Springs is known for their women's workwear, but right now the company's Made in America approach is especially important as they pivot to providing personal protective equipment. Employees are busy sewing general use cotton masks. $1 from each mask sold goes to the Marr County Community Foundation for COVID-19 relief efforts. Red Ants Pants is also partnering with Bear Paw Outfitters Manufacturing in Billings. They're taking orders for masks and medical gowns to help fill the gap.
We're working on 1,000 gowns for Billings Clinic right now. A lot of interest from other hospitals. We've been making the general use face masks for Highway Patrol and Forest Service and some of the mines. Colstrip just called, Talon Energy, they put it in order. So we're doing everything we can to step up and make sure folks have the proper PPE. It's just what we do, right? If we have the tools or the supplies or the means, this is especially what Montanans do, is pitch into an effort and be good neighbors.
Now, you might recall the Red Ants Pants Music Festival is canceled for this year. Calhoun says there will be a huge economic impact on White Sulphur Springs and Marr County. She says they're working to innovate and host other types of events where appropriate, and they're doing that to raise money for the Red Ants Pants Foundation. The nonprofit works to help women's leadership, working family farms and ranches, and rural communities.
Well, after a few days of showers, we got a little bit of a dry spell in the forecast. We'll have details on that and the warm-up after the break.
Now, here's your Storm Tracker weather forecast with meteorologist Brandon Michaels.
Another beautiful sunset tonight. That's where we're going to start off with a photo of the day. Thanks to Bridget for sending this one in. Some nice shades of orange. In the background there, we had a nice shot on the U.S. Bank iCam a little bit earlier. Put that one out on Facebook too. So beautiful sunset all around the city. That was from Great Falls. And part of the reason for that is we had those clouds kind of pushing in right at the right time. Right as the sun was going down, those high, thin clouds were pushing in. They're kind of pushing past the Great Falls area and definitely thinning for places like Great Falls and Helena right now. Still relatively clear off to the northeast. And in general, we are going to see kind of a clearing trend through the night tonight. Definitely some areas of cloud cover, but more clear skies than anything else, especially by the time we get to tomorrow morning. Here's 8 a.m. tomorrow. Pretty much sunshine all across the state. It's going to be a really nice start to our Saturday. Noon, kind of the same story. I think pretty much everybody is nice and sunny through about noon. Then as we head into the afternoon, we're going to start to see some changes. You saw those clouds kind of filling in from west to east. Later in the day on Saturday, we are going to see some cloud cover, at least from about Great Falls westward. Eastern Montana, though, still enjoying all of that nice sunshine. We're going to see more clouds into the evening hours. Future Track does want to put in a couple of showers. I think maybe that's possible in the higher terrain, but I think most of us aren't really going to pick up anything in the way of rain as we head into Sunday. Probably some clouds, even a little bit of fog to start off our morning, but through the day that's going to burn off and we're actually going to get back to some nice sunshine. Those things are looking pretty nice through the weekend here. And as far as temperatures are concerned, those are going to be looking nice, in fact nicer than they have been into the weekend as well. 42 in Lewistown and also in Great Falls right now. Again, we pointed this out earlier. Helena is still at 50 degrees this evening. 43 in Cutbank, 40 in Jordan, and also 40 degrees in Glasgow right now. Overnight tonight, low temperatures freezing or slightly above freezing for our overnight lows. 36 for Jordan, 34 in Glasgow, 34 in Cutbank, 32 in Great Falls, and also Lewistown, and down to 36 degrees in Helena. Tomorrow's high temperatures better than today. Today was still fairly comfortable. Tomorrow even warmer. Places like Jordan getting as warm as 71 degrees tomorrow, 66 in Helena and also in Great Falls. And then Sunday, kind of a similar story. In fact, our temperatures are looking very similar for Sunday. Jordan up to 73, 69 for Glasgow, 66 in Havre, 60 in Cutbank, and then mid-60s for the rest of us. We do have a little bit of a breeze to contend with, though, by Sunday. Although, as you can see here, the wind's really not going to be too much of a factor for our Saturday. Wind gusts as high as about 20 miles per hour. That's not too bad. I do think they can get to that 20 to 30 mile per hour range for the day on Sunday, and by Sunday or Saturday night, excuse me, that's when we're going to see some stronger winds too along the Rocky Mountain front. But we've also got a nice warm up heading our way. We'll take a look at that as we head later into the week. It's a really big ridge that's going to be moving in. You can see this warm air mass just settling right over the state of Montana for next week, and that's really going to bring some nice temperatures to the forecast. So we'll look at those right now. Mostly 60s through the forecast. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we're looking at high temperatures in the 60s in Great Falls. The winds are going to be picking up early next week. But look at Wednesday as that big ridge builds in. 72 degrees for our high temperature. If that were to verify, that would be the warmest day of the year so far. Little chance for some rain showers or some thunderstorms into the day on Thursday. Same story for Helena, 66 for Saturday and Sunday. Breezy by Monday with a high of 67, continuing to climb to 68 on Tuesday. And then we break into the 70s. Looks like Helena could actually see 70s both Wednesday and on Thursday, with that slight chance for thunderstorms on Thursday, and then cool off on Friday. Tim?
Thanks, Brandon. When we come back, sports might be on the shelf while we're staying at home, but we can still do some scoreboard watching. We'll check in on the centerpiece of one of Montana's newest high schools.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on Montana's news leader.
Welcome back. Construction continues as scheduled in East Helena, where the new high school will be set to open this fall. While crews continue to work inside the building, outside facilities are also beginning to take form. The Vigilantes track, football field, and softball complex continue to progress, with the centerpiece being the new scoreboard and video board in the north end zone. East Helena Activities Director Sean Mergel says it's impressive to see the changes from week to week.
The last couple weeks has been really good to see all the progress inside and outside. As you can see, our scoreboard's up. They're working on our softball dugouts. That's our discus rink out there. The fields are coming along very nice. They're going to start putting the turf in, I believe, next month. On the inside of the building, the painting's going really good. Our gym's looking really good. And you can see that they painted up some vigilantes, and there's a welcome to our house sign put up in there. But everything's coming along really nice.
If you'd like to see more of the latest updates at East Helena High School, you can check out the full video over at montanasports.com. Well, the Pittsburgh Pirates were supposed to be hosting the LA Dodgers for a 3-game series this weekend, but instead there hasn't been any baseball since spring training due to the coronavirus pandemic. MTN's Isaiah Dunk talked with Pirates bullpen coach and Great Falls native Justin Message about what it's like to work in Major League Baseball right now.
What do baseball teams do when it's baseball season and you can't play? Pittsburgh Pirates bullpen coach and Great Falls native Justin Message is at home in Florida, making sure his kids get their schoolwork done and playing baseball with them. After that, he's on Zoom meetings constantly, checking on the health of the Pirates players and their families, and making sure new guys on the team are feeling welcome.
We're also trying to use this time as an opportunity to help our players get a little bit better and maximize this crazy time that you normally wouldn't have, to be able to build on something maybe you started on spring training, or maybe you held off on something in spring training that you kind of want to attack now, whether that be from maybe a delivery standpoint or a pitch development standpoint.
But the most challenging part for Message and everyone involved in MLB is the general uncertainty of the times.
That's just the million-dollar question right now of when our country's able to get going again, and we're able to get going after that. And really, when you're trying to build up pitchers, you really have an end goal in mind, and we don't have that right now. And in the off season, you always know that spring training starting this day, and then you know that opening day is this day, so you build up accordingly. Unfortunately, in this off season, or in this coronavirus time, we don't have that. So it's, we're just playing a guessing game.
In Great Falls, Isaiah Dunk, MTN Sports.
Well, for you car enthusiasts watching, you're going to want to crank the volume for this one. Dozens of cars and their proud owners circled up for the Helena Valley Timing Association's CRUISIN the Drag. It's the first time the association has organized an event like this, and Chad Wenger said the association decided to put this on to try and put some positivity into the community.
It's something we'd like to try and do at least once a month, if not twice, and just Helena needs more fun things going on, and just we need more positive stuff going on right now.
If you'd like to stay up to date on when the next CRUISIN the Drag happens, you can check out the Helena Valley Timing Association's Facebook page. We'll be right back with the final check of your forecast.
Come back, the forecast for tomorrow actually looking pretty nice. 66 degrees for the high temperature in Helena. Some sunshine early in the day, increasing clouds for the afternoon. Kind of the same story with that in Great Falls. We're looking at 66 degrees for the high temperature once again. A little bit more sunshine in Great Falls, but by the afternoon, clouds are going to start to roll in.
Well, finally tonight, a Great Falls woman is celebrating her 77th birthday today. Anita Jensen opened up her window and had a surprise of many faces from her family to greet her on the big day. The idea all started because of the social distancing put into place, and her family wanted to still be there to support her. Cindy Clark is Anita's daughter. She says they're just happy her health is better and that she's in good spirits.
Mom has been pretty sick the past few months, and the day after Christmas we weren't even sure that, you know, she was going to make it. So the last 4 months have been a big struggle, and my sister and my nephew have kind of truly nursed her back to health, and so today was just a super special day for all of us.
And I love to see these stories of birthdays, whether they're people like Anita or kids that are 6 and 7 years old. They're getting at least some happiness on their birthday.
People are finding ways to celebrate, and that's great to see.
Making the best out of a tough situation. All right, that's all the time we have. We hope you have a great night. Join the Weekend Crew tomorrow at 5:30 and 10. Good night.